is up, guys? Jeremy here, and welcome to the Easy Weather Advanced tutorial. Now, I know I am recording this differently than I normally do. I'm doing a screen recording. Reason being is because when I do advanced stuff on my phone, it is easier for you guys to view it full screen on YouTube, so it takes up your whole iPhone and it looks like you're looking at my iPhone. It's just the easiest way to demonstrate. So if you guys didn't know, you can expand the YouTube video to be full screen and just hold it in portrait mode, and this video will take up your whole screen. Another thing that YouTube seems weird about with these videos is you need to bump up the quality. For some reason, they usually turn on default at 360. Turn them up to full HD. It is in HD, so that'll make it look a whole lot better if it didn't do it automatically for you guys. Now this is going to be a very long video. It takes a long time to explain these things and cover all the different stuff that I want to show you. So what I'm going to do in this video, which will help you guys out tremendously, is I will put timestamps in the description on certain topics that I cover with Easy Weather. So that way, if you're looking for something specifically, you can just look in the description, figure out exactly what time I started showing it, and just view it that way if that's all you're looking for. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. So like I said, if you're looking to do like change the background or a font or whatever it might be, just look in the description. I'll have everything titled there so you can see at what point in this video I do cover it. Now, I'm not going to talk non-stop because that's hard to do for extended periods of time. So this is going to be like we're kind of hanging out together. Now, I did do this. I think it was for, maybe it was Weather Light V3. It was a while ago. I did do an advanced video. It's going to be very similar to that. It's kind of the same system, just with some new features. So it is going to be like that a lot, actually. But like I said, I'll cover, you know, as much stuff as I can think of, and hopefully I don't show anything of importance while I'm doing this, while you guys are literally hanging out in my iPhone with me. This is my daily iPhone. So where to begin with Easy Weather? What do I think most people want to know? So first off, if you haven't seen the first episode, watch that. I show you guys how to download the themes and install them and all that. So I show the basic operation of Easy Weather, and this is going to be advanced stuff. So the first thing I would recommend you guys to do, I think, if you're gonna get into customizing these or creating your own and sharing them, is you want a push button start. I like to call it a push button start for the shortcut. Now, the palm tree one here was the one that I used. It's actually not active right now because I did the tutorial for you guys, so I deleted the shortcut and re-downloaded it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and delete this bookmark, and I'm going to recreate my push button start for you guys so you can see how it works. Obviously I haven't updated Easy Weather because it shows it's Saturday and I'm filming this or recording this on Sunday. So what we'll do is we'll go into shortcuts here, and I'm just going to click the three dots on just the Easy Weather main shortcut. And then you click the three dots in the upper right again, and then you can click Add to Home Screen. And this is how I make custom icons. If you're wondering, this is how my icons are custom. I use shortcuts to create all of them. But I'm going to choose File, and we're actually already in Vibe, so that's really nice. If you guys haven't seen my themes folder, this is my themes folder. I guess I'll show you guys some cool stuff on my iPhone while we're in here. These are all the different themes that I do have on my iPhone. I have just a ton, and I continually collect them. I feel like I'm a theme collector at this point. Like, I love buying really cool themes and using them. So, but we're gonna go into Vibe by Bulldog. I believe, what's the number for him? He has a number after his Bulldog. Why did it kick me all the way up to the top? That was weird. Bulldog 5278 on Twitter. So if you guys are looking to buy Vibe, you need to contact him on Twitter, and you can purchase the theme from him there if you guys are looking to get this theme. So I'm just going to put that out there. But what I'm going to do is just choose the icon that I want to use to basically push button start the shortcut from my home screen. This is incredibly essential for when you get into this. So I cleared the name and now I'm done. Okay, so now if we go to the home screen, you can see I have the new palm tree. I like to keep it over here because that's just where it's been for the last, I don't know, few days while I've had this set up. So I'm just going to click that icon and you guys will see it's going to run Easy Weather. Now, one thing to watch out while you're doing this is if there is an error with Easy Weather, you will not be able to see it from the home screen. Basically, the shortcut will just quit and nothing will update. That means you probably have an error, and what you can do to find out what the error is go into the shortcuts application itself and run Easy Weather there. And it should update here in just a second. Hopefully. There we go. And there we go. So it's Sunday. That's actually clear out right now. It's April 4th. It's Easter. You guys will be seeing this on Monday. So yeah, the push button start, super important. You can just click it. It'll run the shortcut from your home screen. This is incredibly essential when you're making edits to these so you can watch the changes take effect. That way you can pinpoint where you want objects to go and all of that. So I'm just going to stop it because I already updated it. So that's the push button start. That's a good thing to start out with. What else can I talk about here? So in the shortcuts, this is completely unscripted. I'm just gonna wing it, just because trying to plan out a video that's gonna be this long is gonna be incredibly hard. I'm just trying to remember everything I mentioned in that first advanced video, just because I did cover a lot of really good topics. So we got the push button start. I guess we could start getting into editing the JSON right away. That will probably be best. If I can think of anything else while I do this, I will come back and cover it. So to edit these themes, let's go into files, okay? Let's back out of my... Okay, apparently I wasn't in there. So I'm in the shortcuts folder. I am in iOS Weather. I am in Easy Weather. I'm at the home screen. So these are the home screen themes that I have installed. So you can see here we have fonts. There's images. There's the main JavaScript, and then there's the style JSON. So the style JSON is where you're going to make edits to the theme. If you really know what you're doing, you can technically make edits to the main JavaScript, but I don't even know if I'm going to cover that. I did do it for my theme that you guys see here. Maybe I will cover that towards the end. We'll see. But take a look at these themes. You can see that there is lots of different layers here, basically. So there's overlay. I still have the layer mode in here. I just left that in here. There's the BG, so that's the background. I guess, yeah, we'll kick it off. I'll show you how to change the background of a theme. I think that's a very common question. So what we're going to do is go into the files. You can see it is named BG. This does have to be a JPEG file, so you can't really just take an image from your camera roll or your photo library or wherever and just stick it in there. You do have to make sure that it's the proper extension. And I'm not sure, can I do that by doing info on this, I hope? Yeah, so JPEG image, as you guys can see there, it is a bg.jpg. So if it does not have that for the background, it will give you an error and the shortcut will not run. So when you're looking to create or use a wallpaper, just make sure it's that format, or you can do what I like to do. I use this application called Pixelmator right here. And this is where I do all of my graphical work, I guess you could say, on my iPhone. I use this on iPad as well. It's actually a really nice application, but you could use like Adobe or whatever you want. I just use Pixelmator because it's what I'm used to. So when I start a new project in the upper right, I do have a landscape and a portrait option, and those are sized to the exact screen dimension of my 12 Pro Max. So as you can see, portrait is 1284 by 2778. So when I open this, it is exactly the size of my iPhone, and that makes it incredibly useful for doing the backgrounds, because what I'll do is I'll go into my albums here and I will choose, let's say, this wallpaper here. This is by Alan G on Telegram. He is an amazing wallpaper creator. I will leave his Telegram link in the description if you guys want to check him out. He's pretty awesome. But we're just gonna put this wallpaper here and line it up. I mean, you don't have to have it be perfect, just as long as the edges all look good. And then what I do is I just click the share option here, and I can actually direct this to go straight to my folder, straight into the file system, directly to be a new background image. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do send to iCloud Drive. I can choose what format. As you can see, there's JPEG. So that's what I'm going to choose. Now, before I move it, I am going to erase the name, and I'm just going to do capital BG. Click done. And now the file extension for that's already a .jpg, so I am good. So I am in, again, this is all file system directory stuff. So if you guys aren't used to going through your files, you are going to get very used to it if this is something you really want to get into. So easy weather, home screen themes, my theme, and images. So images is where this goes. And you got to be exact when you do this stuff, guys. You have to know exactly where you're putting things and what file extension they are and all of that. Because if you make a mistake, the shortcut just won't work. You'll get an error. So it's very crucial that everything you do is exact, because if you don't, it won't work. And sometimes it's hard to figure it out. If you screw up a theme, of course you could just switch to another theme or whatever. So you can see I'm going to place it there. There's already one there. So I'm just gonna replace it. Okay, so now I haven't done anything else. I'm gonna do my push button start, as you guys can see there, and you guys will see that the background will change when the shortcut finishes running here. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get a sip of my iced coffee that I have a brand new big cup for this video. All right, so it should be just about done here. Okay, and as you can see, the background changed. We can't see it all because there is overlays. A lot of these themes come with overlays, and you can remove them if you want. I'd say the best way, let's say I want no overlay, I just want the wallpaper or the background exposed with the information that is on my screen. So what I can do to do that, if we go into files and we're gonna, again, we're in my theme here, IDM EW02 images. As you can see, 01 overlay is that's what's chosen. You can see there's layer blank in the lower left. That is the blank layer that you can use with these themes. So instead of having a overlay specified, you can specify the name layer blank. It's all about names and correct spelling, essentially. So now we shall get into editing the JSON. This is where it gets technical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up, and the style.json, I'm going to click and hold on it, and I'm going to click share. Now, the application that I like to use is called Textastic, as you guys can see right there. It is the blue icon with a T. This is a paid tweak, or sorry, not tweak, what am I talking here? This is a paid application from the App Store. I believe it's like $8 or $10 or something. There are free versions. I believe they're called like Jayson and Kodex. They do the same thing. The layout is going to be different, but you're doing the same thing. It just will look a little different. I like using Textastic just because I'm so used to using it at this point that it's what I use. But keep in mind, there are at least two free versions of this style app that allow you to edit this JSON file in the App Store. Again, I'll try to leave those linked in the description for you guys. So this is what the style JSON looks like. This file is telling basically everything, all of the different elements, where they should be placed, what size should they be, what color should they be, what effect should they have, etc. So it also gives you fine control over the overlaying in here as well. So overlay day, you can see right here. I'll try to highlight these with the cursor. I forgot to do that in the last advanced video, but overlay day and overlay night, you can have two different overlays depending on the time of day. As you can see, I have mine set just to 01 overlay for both of those. But like I said, if we wanted to get rid of the overlay, and this is just for example, so you can take this info and, you know, customize it to however you want. I'm just going to change it to layer blank, and I'll do the same for night as well. So just by naming this differently, it will change it. So layer blank. And like I said, your spelling has to be 100% correct. If there is a capital L, there has to be a capital L, otherwise it will not recognize it. So every letter, everything you spell in here has to be 100% correct, or the shortcut won't work, okay? So the beauty of Textastic is as I make these edits, it actually updates it in real time to my iCloud. So I don't need to save anything or do anything else. After I make an edit, I can just hop out and click my push button start for the shortcut. And as you guys will see, my overlay will disappear and there will be a blank overlay there, which you can't see because it's invisible. And you will see the whole wallpaper coming through, but the elements that I have on screen will still remain, where it says Sunday, April 4th, it's clear today, and the icon. So there we go. Looks a little weird deconstructing this a bit, but what I can do is let me get rid of this sweet carrot weather widget just so we start opening up my home screen a little bit. So we've removed the layer. Now what I'll cover is customizing the weather icons. I think I'll cover that here quick. We'll change the weather icon. So what we can do is go into iHeaven, and this is what makes iHeaven so great, is there's just so much stuff that can be contained here for customization. So if we go to Easy Weather Shares and we scroll up a bit, we should run into some weather icons at some point, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's where I found the ones I'm using now. I found them here in iHeaven right here. The Zoo Planos. I've actually used these in some Jailbreak widgets, so it's cool to see them in here. Obviously, we're not going to do those because I already have them, so let's see if we can't scroll through probably a bunch of really cool stuff here until we find some icons, hopefully. I mean, I guess I could have just used the pre-built-in icons, but what's the fun in that when you can get some custom icons? So just bear with me as I just kind of search through here. There we go. Here's some from Moan here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the zip. Yep. This is all about the files, guys. So if you're looking to get into this stuff, it's all about files. It's all about names. It's all about placement. It's all about being exact. I think that's why I find it to be so addicting. It's just really fun. So we'll do more. I'm going to save them to files. And I am just going, actually, we'll place it to where it needs to go. So not themes, we'll go to shortcuts, iOS weather, easy weather, home screen, mine, images, icons. Okay, save. Done. Thanks, Moan. So let's go to files. We need to unzip these now. So what we're going to do is go into my theme, go to images, go to icons. Oh, I did not do that correctly. I need to replace all of the icons in here, but that's okay. I'll just unzip it. Again, this is all iCloud based, so you have to wait for it to finish uploading before you run the shortcut. So as you guys seen, that did upload to my iCloud drive. Another thing to watch out on a side note is, as you guys can see at the bottom there, I have 1.7 terabytes of available space in iCloud. If you guys don't have enough space to house all of these different things, you're going to get errors. So make sure you have enough iCloud space to support, downloading icons and themes and customizing all of this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hop in here. I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to copy them. Okay. I'm going to hop back out. I'm going to select all of these. I mean, you could just move them if you want to save them. So if you don't want to delete them, that's what I'm doing. I just deleted everything, and now I'm just going to paste in those new ones just by tapping and holding, and boom, bada bing. There we go. So you can move the icons. You don't have to delete them like I did. I just did that because it was quickest. But we changed all of the icons in the O1 icons folder. So now what that's going to do is change the current icon set that I'm using. Again, push button start. We'll see the changes take effect. Like I said, that push button start is amazing. I wonder how many minutes I've recorded so far. I don't know if there's a way I can pull open my screen recording and see that while it's active, so I guess I'll just have to wonder until I'm done with this video. Come on, easyweather. Thank you. And as you can see, the icon has changed to that new one, which looks pretty cool. Let's do, so we did icons, let's do fonts. Fonts are cool. And I actually have some cool fonts in my iPhone. So let's go back to our files. I have a fonts folder built or set up in my iCloud drive. I have a lot of stuff in here. So we have fonts. Here are some cool fonts that I like. Now I download them from dafont.com, and that's how I get them. And I just save them to my files. I use them in Jailbreak widgets as well. So that's why I have them. I use them for Jailbreak widgets, and I also use them for this easy weather kind of stuff. Now what's cool when they're in here is because I forget their names. If you just click on it, you get a preview of that font, which I thought that was really cool, that you can just tap on a font and get a preview. So what we're going to do, I'm using the old school tag as my font right now. I really like this font, but we will, nice. We will pick a different one. I don't know which one I should pick. What's this one look like? And that's pretty funky. When you're getting these from Dafont, make sure they have the characters you need for what you're using them for. Certain fonts won't come with numbers, and if you're using a font for numbers, obviously it's not going to appear. So be smart when you do this. Like I said, some of these don't come with like number support, like 1 through 0 or 1 through 9 or whatever. If that font doesn't come with those numbers and you're trying to use that font for your temperature, it's just going to appear blank, I believe, or it might be a default font, a default iOS font. So again, everything you do, you just got to really pay attention to. We'll just do simple rounded because why not? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy simple rounded. I'm just going to select on it, and then I'm going to do copy. And now what I'm going to do is head back to shortcuts, and I'm going to go back into iOS weather, easy weather, home screen, my theme, fonts, and then here I'll just paste it. Okay. So simple rounded.ttf. You need to know the name, and I like to select on it. And I'm very weird when I put these in here. Looks like I already have simply rounded. I'm a dum-dum. I already have it in here. Okay, we'll delete the old one and I'll update the new one to show you guys what I like to do. So when I edit these fonts, I like to rename them because the name matters, because you need to have the name in the JSON file. So I like to get rid of any spaces. I don't like anything weird in the name, like a symbol or anything like that. I just like a simple name. So simply rounded works for me. It looks like I did leave a dash in this name for old school tags, so I guess that does work, but I try to change the name. I mean, you could make it really simple. The changing the name isn't going to do anything. Like, we could do this as just like cool. Let's leave it like that because that's really simple. So that is the cool font, and I'll try to remember it's simply rounded. But now what we can do is we can head back to the JSON file, and you can see I have the fonts defined here on these lines. I'm actually only using old school tag.ttf, but this was kind of one of the setups that I was just kind of dinking with stuff, and I wanted to figure out how to add extra fonts. So you can add more than, I don't know if there's a limit or not, but I did add these 3 fonts when originally it was just a 1 font. So I added my font 2, I added my font 3, And as you can tell, when you're making these, you need to add all of the correct symbols that you need, like the quotations and all of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, let's change simply rounded to cool with a capital C. So remember, that was a capital C, right? So I am using, I think it's date 1 as the day. So that's what I'm going to change. Now I have, if you guys notice on the left in Textastic, there's a line count, meaning each line is a number. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left-hand side. So as I use this, I start remembering where objects are in line count, and I know that the dates are at about 400. So that saves me a lot of time. So as you can see, there is date 2, here is date 1. So date 1 is on line 384, and I just remember it's usually around 400. So then I can go to date 1 and make an edit if I want. And it is set to my font 1. So that's just what I wanted to check. So now when I run it, since I updated the font, it will update Sunday. The word Sunday, it'll look different. It won't be as cool as the old school tag font, but you guys will see the changes of the font take effect. Okay, apparently the font is not going to change, so I must have made a mistake somewhere. So let's just double check my work here. So date, my font 1. Did I not change my, was it my font 3? Am I a dum-dum? It is my font 3. I'm an idiot. Whoops. So again, I'm paying attention to my line count. That's how I can whiz around in here. We're going to update this to my font 3. I don't know why I thought it was my font 1. And this will correct it. So like I said, as you do these things, you just need to be very vigilant on everything you're doing. And you will learn, if you see something not work, you'll be like, oh, okay, what did I goof up? Because if the change doesn't take effect, you goofed something up. So come on, Sunday, change to the cool font. So there we go. There's the cool font. As you can see, Sunday's text is different. So that's how you change the font. Now let's hop back into Textastic while we are at an object. So as you guys go through this JSON, you can see each object. So here is the low string. Here is the low. This is the high string. So each one of these is an object, and I have them pretty much hidden. Now I have so many things hidden just because I like simple stuff, but some people like really complex things. And what I've done is for the Y value, I've changed that to 120. So basically the X and the Y value is the position this object is going to be on your screen. And it is in a percentage of screen value. So X is actually 10%, and then Y is set to 120%. Since my screen is only 100% in size, 120% takes it off of the screen, and you don't see it. So if I take this and I put it to 50% Y and 50% X, that will be 50% of my screen from left to right and 50% of my screen from up and down, which equals the exact perfect center of my screen. You also have alignment, and this is how the object is going to align to that point. So if you really want it truly centered, you change this to center. Now this is helpful for like long text. So like the Monday date where it has Monday spelling, the alignment for that I have set to, I believe, left. So that way I have a left point that never changes, but the length of the text to the right does fluctuate in size depending on the name of the day, because they do change in size. So hopefully that made sense. You have your font size here. We could make this bigger if we wanted, so a bigger font. You have your specified font. You have your line height. So that's the line height in between each break. So let's say there was a bunch of information and it requires 2 lines of text. The line height is the space in between those two. And then you do have the ability to have gradient colors. As you can see, these are in RGB factors. I'll get back to that in a minute. Let me go ahead and do the update so you guys can see the, the low. So the low of the day, it should end up smack dab in the middle of my screen. And there we go. As you can see, there is the low in the middle of my screen. It's a little small, but it is there. It is exactly in the perfect center of my device. And that's basically element movement and sizing. So you can take all these elements that you can see and move them around and see if it's something you want to use. Like I said, that's for the high for today. There's the high string. So there's a high string, there's a low string, there's date 2, date 3, there's the sunrise time, there's sunrise string, there's sunset string, sunrise set, etc., etc. It keeps going. There's lots of different elements that can be on the screen. Each one of these is a different element of information that can be displayed, like rain string, UV index. You got date, you got forecasting, you got day 1 forecast, day 2. There's a lot of information, and these are all different things you could use in your setup. Like if you wanted, the sunrise time of the day. What time does the sunrise happen where you are? You can have that. So all of these different things can be used. Now, like I briefly mentioned, there is the RGBA. So that stands for red, green, blue, alpha. That is the color value. You can have each one of these matching, and it will make the text a solid color. Or you can change them to different colors, and there will be a gradient effect of colors for that line of text or that element. So the way I like to do it, now I do have a free app. I'll show you guys that first. I'm not sure where it is in here, but it is called hey, just got an invite for some wallpapers. Gotta love it. It is called Drop. This is a free app in the App Store, and you can create a palette, and I like to do manually pick colors. And when you do manually pick colors, I believe, no, sorry, go back, create palette, from photo, pick colors from photo. So this lets you choose a photo, and then once you select on that photo, you can touch on the screen and you can get the exact color value of something. You just go to adjust, and it tells you right here the RGB of that color, and then A is just alpha. How intense is it? You can make it transparent if you want, which is 0, or just barely visible, which would be 1, or fully opaque, which is 10. It's from a 0 to 1 gradient, so, or levels. So this is the app I like to use, or I used to like to use. I have a new one here. It's called Aurora. This is actually the new one I like to use. This is paid. That's why I don't think you guys would probably want it, but it does the same thing. It allows me to figure out exact color codes. This app is much different because you can actually use your camera, as you guys can see, to, what's up guys? You can literally like point it at things to find the exact color, which is pretty nuts. Or you can use a photo like the other app. So this is the newer picker that I like to use, called Aurora. But like I said, if you guys want the free version, It is called drop, and I forget where it is here in my app library, but that's how you can find the RGB color codes if you guys want to colorize certain things to be specific colors. This does help when you are running a certain theme. So let's say I wanted the Sunday text to be the exact same green as the green in my push button start icon. So we're going to customize this color here quick now. And I'm just going to use Aurora just because it is my new go-to. So we're just going to do plus here. No, we don't want to do that. Actually, I think I need to back up. Colors from image. Apparently it's not going to load. Okay, you know what? Aurora is being a little weird, so let's just do drop. So we'll go into drop, and then I'm going to back up. I'm going to go back, create palette, pick colors from photo. I will add this photo, and then I'm just going to touch until I can touch on the green. So let's say that's the green we want our text to be. So I go to adjust, and I just remember it's red 103, green 191, blue 67. So let's go hop back in here, and that is going to be date 1. That's that blue color, I believe. Should be. But anyways, so I can just multitask it here by doing that. So it is red 103. And then it was green 191. And then the blue was 67. And then, like I said, this value, the A, it's alpha. And it is set to 1. I thought it was a 0 to 1. So this 0.5 is what's going to be 50% alpha, I believe. Unless I got to put a 0.5. It might be 0.5. I forget that value. Let's try and run it and see if it doesn't have an error. It's kind of confusing because it looks like my Sunday actually has a gradient in it, but I think that's because of the wallpaper. I think that's just the wallpaper playing games with my mind. It looks like a gradient, but it's really not because of the wallpaper. That's really weird. So let's see if this does something to the color. If nothing seems to happen, then I made an error. Hey, there we go. So as you can see now, it actually has a gradient, and it's actually kind of like a 50% gradient. So there is a semi-transparency to the letters now because I changed the transparency to 0.5, which is 50% transparent, if that makes sense. So we will bump this back up to just 1, which is completely solid, opaque. So we changed that to green. Let's make it like a gradient color. So as you can see, I changed that to green, and you can see the other blue and kind of what the effect looks like there. So let's go back into drop here, and let's use this very cool application to pick a new color. Let's just do like this pink color. Adjust, so red 233. So let's hop in here. Let's do the end color. So that was 233, 79. And then 131 for blue. Oh, not 231, 131. Crap, now I got DMs coming in on here. All right, let's see what that looks like with the, whoops, there we go. Let's see what that looks like with the that pinkish color in there now. There we go. And now we have a green, blue, pink gradient to the text. So that's how the coloring works. You can change the angle of that gradient as well, which is really cool. So there's gradient angle right here, this line. So if you don't want it going, the gradient going in that direction, you can change it. I believe 90 would be up and down. So 45 is half of 90. It's all degrees basically. So you can adjust the gradient angle. You do have full control over the shadow color as well. You can have that be just pure black or, you know, a different color. You have shadow offsetting as well. So if you want to move the shadow around, and then you do have the shadow blur effect. How blurry do you want the shadow to be? So full range of control. And like I said, this is for all of these different elements. So hopefully you can see the power of this code. It's pretty impressive. Eric and Moan did a freaking amazing job with this. It's just really in depth. Now I'm going to talk about the icons because I know it's another thing that people like to talk about is the icons. Now, not really how to change them because I already covered that, but the icon itself, that weather icon, there are a few here. So you can see there is icon. This is the current weather icon of your location. That's the one I have displayed on my home screen. This is a forecast icon. So you do have a forecast icon for up to 5 days. And then there is the sun option at the bottom. So sun and moon, well, moon isn't here, but the sun will change into a moon at night. And basically, this object will move across your screen as the day goes on. So as the day goes on, you can have a sun icon go across the screen, and then as it becomes nighttime, a moon icon will come onto the screen and go across as well. So that's what that is. You have your profile image here, so whatever you want that to be. Again, that's an image you can edit within the files. You have a call badge, so I believe the way that works is if you have any missed calls, you can have a custom badge for that placed anywhere you want. And then you have your battery control here as well, which will show your battery level. But like I said, we'll mess with the icon first. So you have your X, Y, and then you have your size. So very simple on the icons. Let's make it gimonstrous. Let's do it 45. Let's see what happens when we change the size of this icon to 45. So hopefully you guys are learning how this works. I know some of you will probably just come in here and try to find specifically what you're trying to learn in the description. I'm totally cool with that. Like I said, I do this. I like doing these videos and then seeing new people come onto the scene and start creating these, because they're really powerful and really, really cool, considering this is no jailbreak. This is not jailbroken, and it's pretty damn fun. It's like tweaking stock iOS in a way. Very, very cool. And for those of you that have watched this video the whole time, I congratulate you. This is a very long video. So as you can see, by changing the size, it is off placement. So from here, what I can do is I can mess with the Y value. Actually, we'll mess with the X value. We'll bump that down to, let's say, 50%. And get it back onto the screen so we can see the icon, see the whole icon. But yeah, you can resize icons. You can move their position, obviously, as you can everything. And yeah, I think I've almost covered everything. I have one more thing. I can do automation. Come on, easyweather. You can do it. There we go. So that's better. Of course, I could, finesse it and move it exactly where I want. That's why having that push button start, like I keep talking about the shortcut icon there, it is so important to have that when you're customizing these, I think, because you can click it and then you can sit here and watch where it goes. So as you try to position things, you can fine tune it. So, I mean, if I wanted to get this up right next to the Sunday name, I could do that. So having that icon is just really, really important. So I think that's just about everything I want to show you in the JSON, just because you can read these like RSS summary number 2. You can just move these onto your screen and play around with them and see what they are, and you will learn what they are, and then you can learn what you want to do with them. Like RSS date 2, so it's just date, a summary for RSS, the RSS title. I believe you can use like iDownload blogs RSS if you guys want to get into that. There's the source, the date, you have your lows, highs for forecast. So I think I've talked about all of this. I have had someone ask me about the their location being shown. That is a setting, and I can't remember what line it is, but it is in here. If I see it, I will mention it as I go through it. So in here, it will show like your street, like what street you're actually on. And I had someone ask me how to get rid of that, so I'm just going to look for it here real quick. Feels like temp, description box, description, region, street. So this is where it's going to show you the actual street that you are on currently when you run the shortcut. Again, to hide this, any value greater than 100 will hide it. So I just have it to 140, and that makes it hidden. Again, if you guys want to hide things, just make the X or the Y value greater than your screen, which is 100%. And you got city and tomorrow, number, call, today, etc. So I guess I will quickly talk about date formatting at the top here. So as you can see, you have a date format. Sometimes we edit these so that when you make changes to them, they might not make sense. Like, so my date to format, it shows month, 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 and then day, day. And if you guys are familiar with date codes, basically that'll say April 04, okay? But if you go to my home screen, you can see it says April 04, and then I added it's clear today. And I did that in the main JSON, or the main JavaScript file. So you can customize this greater than you can think of. Just be very careful if you do it. And I'll quickly demo how I did this. So basically, April 04, it's clear today, is one piece of information, meaning it's all linked together, okay? So again, like I said, date to format, from within here, it only shows month, 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 day, day. So if we go into files and we go to the main JavaScript, and if I go to share this, you can change information inputs from this file. This is where it might get. So for those of you that know this stuff and you consider yourself, an advanced user already, this is where it's going to get more technical. Where is my Textastic? Why is it not displayed here? Usually it's just displayed right there. There it is. We'll just do that. So here is the main JavaScript, okay? If you've made it this far and you're going to get into this stuff, be very careful in here because you can easily mess things up. And if you're going to do this kind of stuff, just take note, you probably will screw something up, I would think, unless you have a very good understanding of what this stuff is. So right here you go. Here's my date to, okay? So this is the weather array for date to. You have a main input. Obviously, my main input is the date to home screen. So meaning the main input for that information is what I have it set to in the JSON style. So it's pulling month, 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 day, day from there, but it's also linking some things together. So I have it, so take that information plus its plus, then there's spaces in there and all that, plus this input, which is today description, plus another text input of today. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but it will if you go and look at it. So again, main input dates, date to HS, which I have set to in the JSON file to, like I said, month, 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 which is AP, whatever, APR for April, and then day, day, and it's 04. And then again, I'm adding the text space IT apostrophe or whatever symbol that is. I forget the name of it. Apostrophe S space in quotations plus another main input, and the main input is today description today. So if we go to the home screen, you guys can see what that looks like edited in the main JavaScript. So April 04, APR 04, it's clear today. So if it wasn't clear today, if it was thunderstorms, it would say April 04, it's thunderstorms today, etc. So that's how I made an edit to that. As you can see, it shows what's normally there without the edit. And it's normally just weather array date2 equals main input dates dot date2 HS. But it's been customized, and big shout to Moan for this one, because it was over my head at first, but now I understand it. And if you know how to do that, you can do some crazy stuff in the JavaScript here that, you know, at least for information inputs and stuff like that. You can really get custom with it and add your own text to things and get real funky with it. So that's the main JavaScript. Like I said, be careful using that. But yeah, I mean, you have your date formats. If you wanted to change your first date format, you could just have it be E or whatever you want it to be. You can Google search date formatting, and you can find the codes that are used to use, like, you know, what year is it, or, you know, the last two numbers of the year, etc. There's a bunch of date codes. Best thing to do is to go into Google and just search for it. And this is all where you have independent control of your weather walls, your show timed walls as well. So there's weather walls based on weather conditions. There's timed walls depending on what time of the day it is. You have your overlay, like I mentioned earlier. There's also a top overlay, so that's just another overlay image that you can add if you want to sandwich something. You can just, you know, add layers, and you can manipulate images with different layers and stuff like that. You have your profile mask. You can mask it, so if you want it to be a circle or a square or a triangle, you can actually mask the icon. And then you have some hide sun moon, hide call info entry, used colored temp. These are zeros and ones. 0 is no, 1 is yes. So if you want to hide any of those, you can you know, change them from 0 to 1, or I believe you can move them off of the screen as well. Or used colored temperature, basically what that is your current temperature. If you're using the colored temperature, it's based off of the temperature. So the colder it is, the cooler the color, and the hotter it is, the hotter the color. You have a monocolor battery. You can have, you know, colors set for that as well. It's pretty insane. I think that's probably all I'm going to cover at this time. I feel like I'm starting to just ramble at this point. So hopefully I covered any questions you guys got in this video. I mean, basically, if you watch this whole video, you should be good to really get crazy with customization. So if there's anything I missed, I guess just let me know down in the description or in iHeaven or on Twitter or wherever. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely throw me a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot here at the channel. And if you guys want to see more, hopefully not as long videos as these, don't forget to click that subscribe button. This has been Jeremy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.